Good evening from the National Weather Service in San Diego. I'm meteorologist Bruno Rodriguez, and I just want to provide a quick update on the upcoming Santa Ana wind event as well as the cold weather in the high desert. Looking at our threat matrix table, you can see that there are several hazards on tap for us this week. The main factor is going to be fire weather. We do have an extreme threat for our area on Wednesday, and continuing as well into Thursday as a major threat. We're looking at the strongest Santa Ana wind event so far this season, bringing extreme fire weather conditions to much of the area from LA south into San Diego County. We're expecting locally damaging winds, peak gusts between 70 to 80 miles per hour in some of those wind-prone locations. In addition to the fire weather threat, we also have some cold temperatures. This is a cold Santa Ana event, so we do have some sub-freezing temperatures in the forecast for the high desert. I'll give you more details in a few. And those offshore winds are also going to create some hazardous conditions over the coastal waters, so some moderate threat on Wednesday and Thursday. We do have a small craft advisory for that. So let's take a look a little more detail now at the forecast winds. So this graphic here showing you the forecast peak gusts for the entirety of the event. So what this is showing you is really those strongest winds are going to be along the canyons, through passes and canyons such as Cajon Pass, right below Cajon Pass, places like Fontana, San Bernardino, also through the San Gorgonio Pass, just west into Beaumont, into portions of the Inland Empire, the Santa Ana Mountains, of course, and the foothills, places like Fremont Canyon, and then as well into the San Diego foothills and easternmost portions of the San Diego County valleys. Peak gusts, we're looking at between 70 to 80 miles per hour in wind-prone locations. 55 mile per hour gusts are going to be more widespread across several locations. Sustained winds between 25 to 35 miles per hour. Strongest winds are going to be in the morning on Wednesday. I'll get into a little bit more detail in just a second. And then they're going to continue being quite gusty into Thursday afternoon before subsiding. Still some offshore flow hanging around Friday, Saturday, but certainly nowhere near as strong as we're expecting Wednesday and Thursday. We have a red flag warning in effect. It goes into effect 11 p.m. tonight, continues through 6 p.m. Thursday, covers most of the area with the exception of the San Diego County coast and the deserts. Orange County is included, but only on Wednesday. Along with the red flag warning, winds are going to be very strong, so we also have a high wind warning for essentially the same areas except the Orange County coast for peak gusts around 70 to 80 miles per hour as well, so locally damaging winds in some areas. We can take a more detailed look at the forecast winds. This is just a forecast loop showing you how the winds are going to progress essentially through tomorrow afternoon. You can see the winds picking up, especially after sunrise on Wednesday. That's when we expect them to peak anytime between sunrise and noon tomorrow. But they're going to remain strong, like I said, through Thursday before they subside Thursday evening. Along with these strong winds is going to come critically low humidity. We're expecting single-digit humidity essentially all the way to the coast. All locations are going to be 15% or less, even along the coast. So really dry conditions in the air. And it's not just the air, vegetation is also very, very dry, especially after the past few Santa Ana wind events that we've had in the region. So overall, very critical fire weather conditions. And in terms of humidity, we are expecting the low humidity to continue even into the weekend, albeit with much weaker winds. So briefly, I also want to talk about the cold weather that's on tap for the high desert and the mountains, especially Wednesday through Friday. That's when we have our freeze warning in effect for the high desert. It's going to be very chilly each of those mornings. The coldest morning is going to be Thursday. That's what you can see in the graphic, the low temperatures forecast for Thursday. So anywhere between the low 20s to maybe the low 30s on the warmer mornings like Wednesday or Friday. For Thursday morning, we're forecasting. I'd like to switch gears briefly because fire weather is not going to be our only concern. This is going to be the first widespread freeze of the season up there, so temperatures coming in with this Santa Ana wind event. And it's going to be especially noticeable in the mountains and also the high desert. We have a freeze warning in effect for the high desert from Wednesday
to summarize,
through Friday.
I just want to
highlight
again
the extreme fire weather conditions that we are expecting. Generally,
beginning in a few hours
tonight,
to
ramping up overnight into the morning
Thursday,
hours.
that's going to be the
tomorrow,
coldest
Wednesday,
morning.
and
Here are
then
your
strong
forecast
winds
low temperatures
continuing through
Thursday morning. You
Thursday
can see
evening before
22 forecast in Victorville.
Winds are going to be particularly strong. Peak gusts.
It's also going to be
pretty
cold
on Wednesday morning and Friday morning. Widespread
5
miles
per
hour
hour
gusts
gusts
are going to
so
be
that's why we have that
widespread.
freeze warning going through.
So
those
with this
3
and the
days.
low humidity,
it is the first widespread
critically
freeze
dry
of the
vegetation.
season.
Any
So
fires
that's why we
develop
are
are
putting
going
out
to
this
spread
freeze
quickly.
warning. We are
and you can expect erratic and extreme fire
so
behavior.
just be aware of that.
As a reminder, we have the red flag warning and the high wind warning in effect for much of the area starting tonight going through Thursday afternoon. In addition, we have cold temperatures affecting the high desert and mountains starting Wednesday morning and continuing through Friday morning. We have a freeze warning in effect for that time frame. Damage to crops is expected since this is going to be the first widespread freeze of this season. The offshore winds are also going to have an impact on the coastal waters, so gusty offshore winds there Wednesday and Thursday have resulted in us issuing a small craft advisory. I just want to finish with a mention about preparedness and safety. Still a few hours to go until the Santa Ana winds arrive, so now's the time to prepare if you haven't already. Make sure you have an evacuation plan in place, perhaps some kind of an emergency kit. If you are under PSPS consideration or you don't know if you are, now's the time to figure that out and figure out any alternate plans. You can visit weather.gov/safety/wildfire and also readyforwildfire.org for more safety and preparedness information. And for the latest forecasts and weather warnings, you can visit our website at weather.gov/San Diego. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for joining and stay safe.